experience.
What do you call them seats?
The Joe Budden seats.
I make a lot more than you niggas. So, if I'm seated behind you, it's by choice.
Because somebody you don't like, your enemy, gonna come sit right. You know that we call that the Joe Budden seats. You know them second row. You know, perfect example. Him and 50 got some shit, and I'm sitting courtside. And 50 comes sit.
He was right behind y'all.
Okay, but he's behind us. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the man had a little something going on with 50, and why God put 50 Cent front row, and he's in like third row.
I don't
like
think
that
that
would
was God.
bother me if I was Joe Budden's.
I have a different level of respect for not only Fat Joe, but I'm going to always support anything that Jadakiss does. For sure.
Look, I'm here with the home team. We ain't got to play.
Just this one time.
We can just talk about it.
Please, play. I'm being dramatic.
Okay. You know,
please.
I don't want to be triggering though. I'm trying to be mindful of that.
On 5 row, I gotta be front row.
So you want all the
Because
stuff.
somebody you don't like, your enemy, gonna come sit right. You know that we call that the Joe Budden seats. You know them second row.
I don't even got
You
a
ain't got a
hood.
hoodie.
I don't
Yo.
even got a hood.
Yo, listen, them second, third row, I can't do it. I gotta sit front row. I'll give you my experience.
What do you call them seats?
The Joe Budden seats. Them shit second row. You know, perfect example. Him and 50 got some shit, and I'm sitting courtside, and 50
He
comes
was
sit.
right behind y'all.
Okay, but he's behind us.
Those were still considered floor seats.
Those
if you
are
know
great.
anything.
Listen,
Yeah,
I didn't
know that.
It's AA and BB.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the man had a little something going on with 50, and why God put 50 Cent front row, and he's in like third row.
I don't
Like
think that
that
was
would
God.
bother me if I was Joe Budden's.
No,
It
it was
happened
God.
to
And
me.
you put the S back on your
It
name.
happened to me before. When we
Now,
just
listen,
squashed
if he
him,
didn't bump in the 5th, would he have a nice
you
experience?
got a good seat, but the problem is you gotta always expect the enemy might come front row.
I'll stop it there. So,
There's absolutely no logic to his logic whatsoever.
Who was that?
there was
Mark my hill, pussy.
That shit is hilarious.
So, look, I didn't quite follow his logic either.
Yeah, it made no sense.
But just calling the second row the Joe Budden seats.
That's fucked
The
up.
second row.
It's not horrible.
So Mark, I look at
It's
it
not
like
the worst.
that,
And I tried to tell Joe this before myself.
but I would say this because he said it at a podcaster, it came off like bah. But if it was a rap bar, it would have just been a rap bar. Like it would have
Sitting in
been.
the second row like Joe Budden.
It
like,
would have been rap bar, but it
that'd
was.
still be a pretty hard shot to say though.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't.
Second row's pretty good.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with everybody. There's nothing wrong with sitting BB.
Especially when the internet went and
Yeah.
found pictures of Fat Joe in row 10
It's
and row
important.
13.
Okay,
and row
okay,
18.
So my only thing
And it's
that
the fucking New York. It's the Madison Square Garden.
my only response to Joe would have been, but I feel like you're the go to this podcast shit. You my nigga, but I always tell you that, and you really on the GOAT's floor. Shooting at him like nigga, that's the
AA of podcasters.
He's the podcaster.
Even if he's the
front
BB
row, and you in podcasting now
spectators.
talking about it. Yeah,
All y'all doing
Yeah.
is playing into his hand.
Yeah, it's
Right.
I'm in the seat that I wanted to purchase, so I bought it. It's really just that simple. I'm not with all the extra hoopla out there. I'm not out here running around moving with the leverage of my management company or trying to be buddy-buddy or friendly with rappers that I'm not really buddy-buddy or friendly with. I'm the walking embodiment of standing on my own, too. And you know that, which is why you're using my name on your newly established platform trying to get traction because I'm the best in the biz. I recognize that, too. Lastly, I just don't know what Joe Budden seats mean, and because I have so much relationship equity with Fat Joe, I'll wait for him to tell me. I don't want to assume. On one hand, where I come from, you would want to be seated behind your enemy, if anything.
That's where the logic.
That's the part I didn't follow the logic.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be seated in front of him. So, if he was talking about that, I don't really get it, but that's on him. And lastly, maybe Joe Budden seats just means sitting behind somebody you make a lot more than. Until we get clarity on it, we won't really know. But be clear, reimagine how y'all mention my name in some of these conversations. I make a lot more than you niggas. So, if I'm seated behind you, it's by choice, enjoying some popcorn with my baby. I say that with all the respect in the world. So, Much love to Fat Joe and Jada Kiss. I'll continue to support their broadcast, and hopefully everyone out there will continue to do the same. But this is a non-issue, you guys. Everybody back to work. hey, if this is a non-starter. If this ever comes to be something, then we'll address it later. But Joe and I will talk. This is a non-starter. Salute to all, and go Knicks always.
Right, Moose doesn't feel bouged, you know?
Yeah, like we gotta be. It's important to not let things that you see on the internet rile you up while things are going great, man. That was a non-starter. Shout out to those boys.
And then it's kind of like the guy in the front talking about the guy in the back of him, the second guy, not knowing that there's 300 other rows behind. It's like you almost like disrespect those people.
But wait, dog, if I was sitting in the nosebleeds, I make more than you. Like, my seat shouldn't never come up in your conversation. If I was outside in a lawn chair watching on a fucking mobile device, my seat shouldn't come up in none of y'all conversations. That was confusing a little bit, but to each his own.
Anywho's.
How about now? Is your boost?
There you go. Now my boost is amused. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.